Hey, so it is the middle of May, so almost June. So anyone that picks a word for the year or something that they want to focus on for the year, we do that back in the end of December, 1st of January. And I usually pick a word for the year. And here we are at that halfway point. Now, my word for this year ended up being bright. I did not like my word for the year. I thought it was shallow, frivolous, silly. I don't know. I just didn't want or like that word. But there we were with the word bright. And little did I know just how relevant, how important, and how special the word bright was going to become this year. I guess I should have worn something bright for this video. And now I want to talk about flamingos. So all of this is to talk about flamingos. And I have heard this story before, and I don't know, it never really hit me. You know how sometimes you have heard something and it's like, oh, that's nice, oh, that's cute, whatever. And then all of a sudden you hear it another time at a different point in life and you're like, wow, just wow. So flamingos, pink flamingos. So this is appropriate because I'm in pink for the flamingos. And I had written this one was the beginning of May 1st. So the beginning of the month I wrote these things down. And I don't know, a week or two ago I was with one of my girlfriends and I don't even know what we were saying. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I showed her that, a girlfriend of hers sent her a link to a t-shirt that had a pink flamingo on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have to see this. So I showed her, I just gave her my little scratchings and showed it to her. And she was like, oh my goodness, this has got to be an Amenable. And I'm like, well, I think you probably showed me your little link to the t-shirt that went back to her friend that had sent it to her that ended up showing it to me. Because someone, and probably many of us, need to hear this, and we will definitely relate to this. So flamingos, all my rambling to get to flamingos. So flamingos, the mother loses their color and they turn pale or white while they're raising their chicks. And I think a lot of us can just identify with that right there. So they pour their color, they pour all of themselves, all of their effort, all of their nutrients, all of their brightness, they pour it into their chicks. So they pour everything, their color and all of themselves into their babies. Then they slowly regain their pink, their brightness, their vibrance. I like that, their vibrance, their brightness, then their shine. They slowly regain this shine back, their vibrance. So flamingos are actually born gray, and gray or white. And then the color, the pink, comes from the nutrients that the mother is giving them. So the pink color comes because they eat a lot of shrimp. So the pink color comes from the nutrients that they get from their mother. So they start out dull, gray, white, without color, without vibrance, and then they gain the pink, they gain their brightness, they gain their shine from everything that the mother pours into their babies. So as the mom and the so as moms and caretakers, I should never do this. As moms and caretakers, we do the same thing, don't we? Like we pour everything, even in vitro, all of our nutrients, all of our effort, everything goes into this baby that we're making. And then we have this baby and we pour everything into our babies and into our children and throughout their lives. So we pour all of ourselves into the ones that we care for, don't we? I know probably some of you moms are out there right now and you're like, I know it's Sunday and now it's supposed to be my day of rest, but we made it through church and we made it through lunch and now I've got to finish. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put the laundry in the dryer and I've got to do this and I've got to get the meal preps done and I've got to look at the calendar for the week. So there's just that, you don't even have that moment to rest and you're going on fumes because you're pouring all of yourself into your children, into the ones that you care for. We pour all of ourselves into those that we care for. And we tend to lose our bright color. We end up with the dark circles under our eyes. Our hair just seems to thin out, or it's dull, it's brittle. We just tend to lose our bright color. And we become pale. Sometimes we may feel like we become invisible through the process. And I know that I have found myself in this place more than once. But then, once the chicks become independent, then the mothers start to regain their color, to regain their vibrance, to regain their pink. They get the pink back. So, and they get, they can repair, they can slowly regain their pink, and the nutrients are used once again on themselves. And I have found myself, I said this a little bit, I found myself, like once I have two daughters, and once they were grown, and I swore I would never be that mom that, like, oh my gosh, I feel so lost, I don't know what to do. And I remember so vividly one day sitting on my couch, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm that mom. What do I do now? What am I supposed to do with myself now? And I felt lost. I felt like a shadow, I guess. I felt lost. I felt tired. I felt, who am I? What am I supposed to do? And oh my gosh, I've been sitting on the couch for more than 20 minutes, and it's very quiet. What's happening? Because we don't know what to do with that once we get it, do we? So there my girls left, and I kind of felt that, and I just, and I found my way, and I ended up, as the director of a museum, which is what all my degrees were for. And I had this job that I loved. I was finally in the career that I had gone to college and graduate school for. And, I had a very nice, I loved my home. And so then all of a sudden, I'm talking to my mom and dad one day, and my dad says, we really need you. And mind you, my parents lived 3.5 hours away from me. Well, I was fortunate enough that I am a person that could leave behind everything, and I could go and take care of my parents. So I quit my job that I loved. I sold my beautiful home, and I moved back to my hometown where I hadn't been in over 20 years to help take care of my parents. And I remember when my mom passed not long, and thank you God, that I got to stay with my mom, and I had 8 months of just every day with my mom and every evening with my mom, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. And I remember one of my aunts saying to me after my mom's funeral, don't let this make you old, because then I was going to be a full-time caretaker for my dad. And when you take that on, you just don't realize. I did not realize. And you get so focused, just like we do with our children, those that we take care of, we get so focused on them and caring for them and meeting their needs and making sure everything is right and they get just everything. And you don't realize the toll that it takes. We don't realize the toll that it takes on ourselves because we're so focused and so zoned in on what we're doing. And so once again, I was pouring all of my pink into someone being their caretaker. And so my dad, so at full time, in the last couple months, it was all day and all night. And then, so now my dad's gone, and he's gone on to glory. He's gone on to be with mom, and he is in heaven. But here I sit, and I'm like, well, now what? So here I am again in this place. Now what? What do I do? This place of just feeling kind of lost and abandoned, lost, a stranger in a foreign land. I feel like a stranger in a foreign land, and I don't know what to do. So here I am once again, and I guess this is pale pink. So I feel like apparently my pink is gone. Yeah, my pink is gone. I have poured all of my pink into someone. So now what? But, how do we regain the pink? I guess this is the most important part. How do you regain your pink? How do you regain your brightness? Here we go, Amy. Bright is your word for the year, Amy. Bright, vibrant, alive. How do we get that back? And, it's just that like redefining yourself again. And, I'll never be the person I was before I came to take care of my parents. I will never have that job again. I won't have that home again. My life has changed. So, but who am I intrinsically? Who am I on the inside? And taking that time to spend quiet time with God, oh, I'm so sorry, to spend time with God, to spend time in quietness, to just listen to myself breathe, to take those steps, and then to say, what is it? What is it that I want to do? And I'm in this process right now. You know, I'm finding myself again. I'm getting my bright, I'm getting my pink back right now. I'm taking the time that it requires to nourish myself in every way. And I'm thinking about what are my dreams? What are my new goals? What are things that I've never gotten to do before that I want to do? What are things that what are these things? I have dreams, goals, hobbies, exercise, travel. I have to take time to, make myself physically healthy again. I lost a lot of that. The energy goes away. Anyway, story for another day, right? I throw so many of those in there. What hobbies do I want to get involved in? Do I want to get back into, I don't know, community theater? What is it? Hobbies, exercise, travel, study. What kind of work? What are these things? Here I sit with a blank page. And so I'm taking the time to be quiet. I'm taking time to just write it down, whatever it is. Have you ever had dream sessions? We used to do this New Year's Eve with my parents, and we would sit down and we would have dream sessions where we would just write down the wildest. What are our dreams? What do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What is all this? What does my future look like if I could create anything and everything I wanted? So I'm trying to take the time to do that and then take the steps to make some attainable goals, like even for today, for this week, for today. What is it? What are my things? How am I going to get my pink back? Brightness, my vibrance. So this year for me, Bright is about re-becoming Amy, re-becoming pink, getting my pink back, finding my bright, my vibrance. And I think of stories I've gone on. I think about the woman at the well, so much with that. I think about so many stories. I'm going to stop right there because, and my friend that I had given, she got this for me, and it even has a little pink flamingo on it. There it is, little pink flamingo, and these, I love that. It's so pretty. But what a wonderful reminder to look down and remember that, my time now, this chapter is about getting my pink back. And I think a lot of us, if you do feel pale, if you feel invisible, if you feel gray and dull, if you're exhausted, if you're so busy pouring into everyone else around you, first of all, do take time, because they can't be nourished if you are not nourished. So make sure you are in the word, that you are nourishing yourself mentally, physically, any way that you can, even if it's just a few minutes. Make sure that you are nourishing yourself in order to be able to pour that nourishment into everyone that's around you. And I got sidetracked again, but if you're in that place where you feel depleted, where you feel like you're just invisible, where you just are so exhausted, remember to take that time for yourself. And then remember, there will be a day when you get to get your pink back, when you get to be vibrant again. And it's a strange place because I'm in the middle of it. And I just want everyone to know that let's look around for each other and let's recognize the beautiful pinkness, vibrance, brightness in each one of us that are caretakers. And let's help each other as we learn and move forward in getting our pink back. So I hope that you are bright and pink and shiny. I hope that you have found your pink. And if you are in a place where you feel like you are not so pink because you're pouring into others, make sure you're nourishing yourself and pouring some more pink into yourself. And know that the day is coming. The day is coming when you get to get your pink back and you get to be bright and vibrant. I hope that this encouraged someone. I think many of us needed to hear this, and we're in all different phases of it, or we have maybe been in all the different phases. So I wish you all the brightness and all the pink to pour into yourself and into everyone else. Amen, sister.